In the newest Deltek Annual Report on the architecture and engineering industry, this is 2024 data, the top initiative for human capital management was reported to be increasing compensation offerings to attract qualified candidates that firms are trying to hire. I'm dedicating today's conversation with architecture firm leaders to tell you, don't do it. This is a really risky idea. And here's 3 huge reasons why. There's financial strain to the firm, risks to employee morale, and risks of more increased turnover, and personal financial risks for the employees. So let's go through each one of these. Financial strain on the firm. It, of course, produces higher operations costs. The amount of payroll increases, and it's not just payroll, it's payroll taxes too. That can potentially reduce profit margins and affect your overall firm stability. And your whole staff senses firm stability. You can put on a mask and pretend everything is okay, but when it's not, it shows, and your staff can tell. It can also reduce growth potential. So excessive spending on salaries can reduce the available funds for other initiatives like professional development or growth and expansion, acquisitions perhaps. If you can't offer professional development because of financial strain on growth potential, then that impacts your future production and your staff morale too. Everything is intertwined. Also, increased risk of layoffs. When budgets get tight, the economy sinks, and you have to think about reducing payroll. Now you've got a greater risk. You have to let people go. It's harder to retain them when you're paying them too much. So number 2, risks to employee morale and increased voluntary turnover. You get a wage compression. Overpaying some employees while others are paid less can create resentment among the staff. The staff talks about what they get paid. Now, there seems to be like an industry taboo against talking about how much you get paid, but your staff does it. If employee A gets this much and employee B, who does the same thing, the same role, gets less, what does that tell employee B? Then there's employee captivity, and I've actually experienced this myself. Employees who are significantly overpaid may feel locked in to their current position, unwilling to risk a lower paying job. If overpaid employees feel undervalued, or that their compensation isn't in alignment with their contributions, they may feel more likely to seek employment elsewhere. But this is also related to the other employees who feel alienated because they're not paid as much. And especially if it's a gender-related issue. Our industry is notorious for paying men more than women in the same roles, and that needs to stop. If you've got qualified women or men, doesn't matter the gender, they need to be treated equally as far as their competencies go. There may be differences due to their qualities. The third issue is personal financial risk for the employees. It creates an unsustainable lifestyle because they get used to this particular salary level. And when it is time for them to move on, or when they get other possible opportunities showing up and it pays less, maybe they're happier in the job, but now they've got a strain on their lifestyle. They have to cut back on things they were spending their higher salary on. And finally, difficulty transitioning to lower paying jobs. If they're used to getting paid a certain amount, they feel almost demeaned by taking a lower paying job. This is especially true for employees in the mid-level. If they're 20 years experience or more. They feel emotionally degraded in their sense of contribution if they have to take a lower paying job. So it hurts everybody in the entire firm, and it hurts the financials of the firm. What do you do about that? Don't make a race for the top and be the highest bidder. Just don't do it. Instead, invest that in the staff you already have. The people who are dedicated, the people who are already contributing, they can contribute more and they want to contribute more. Invest in their professional development and training to add to their experience and their knowledge. And that helps your firm. That builds a stronger profitability because projects get done on time and in budget because you've trained them to do that. If you need some training support because you don't have time to do that training and your senior architects don't have time to do that training, I can help you with Architects Fast Track to Leadership System. Go to architectsaccelerator.com/fast track. This is the program that gets people, especially in that range of the first few years, to in 6 weeks, they'll know enough to be challenged to take on project management.